We're live now. Welcome back to the next big pod. That was Sai. He wants to mute himself for some reason. Right, we're going to jump straight into the whole card that we was graced with on Saturday night. Simon, you was in attendance for this, weren't you?
I was, mate. Yeah.
Do you want to give us a rundown of the whole card? Because obviously they only televised 3 fights, didn't they?
Yeah, it was a terrible card, to be honest. It was I won't say I defended it, but in the build-up, I said we'd done well because we got Gavin McDonnell fighting for a world title fight in an ice rink. But on the night of the card, it was pretty bad. Willie Warburton got an upset win. He beat Conor Seymour. Jay Carney won out of Kieran Farrell's. Jimmy got a win against Chadwick. Then Dave Allen knocked out. I mean, it was quite bad because Dave Allen made a joke out of his opponent for a couple of weeks being a Polish plumber, and I don't even think he was that good, so he lasted about 29 seconds. Ryan Burnett did what he's done for probably the last few fights. He just didn't do a lot.
Sent you to sleep?
Yeah, he's starting to lose that following and that momentum. And then Tommy Coyle, I thought Tommy had a rough first round, to be honest. And obviously, seeing the state of his eye, that puts it down to it. But Noble was a shocking opponent. I'd never actually seen him, but I've seen a couple of highlights of his fight with Kay Prosper, and he looked all right. But it was there that he was, he had his chin on the washing line kind of thing as he was coming out. That was part. The Luke Campbell fight was fucking embarrassing. And then the main event, Gavin McDonnell. Yeah, he was tough and everything else, but he just did this. He just, as the fight got on, he just did what he was doing wrong in the earlier rounds faster. So he just charged in with his guard up, and like I say, I only give him a couple of rounds. It was a terrible show. There was long gaps in between fights. There was problems in the VIP bar. There was problems in the bar. There was the queues for the toilet. I mean, Hull's a shithole to start with anyway. But it was a show to forget.
What did you think of Vargas? Because he really impressed me. I mean, I know it was only Gavin McDonnell, and you can't take too much out of it. Any world level fighter should be beating Gavin McDonnell, but Vargas, he looked the goods.
Do you know, I went with one of the lads, Fazza, one of the boxers, and he was saying that Vargas was impressing me. He wasn't overly impressing me. I thought he missed with loads of his shots. He was wild, but I thought he looked quite comfortable on the back foot, just popping the jab out. But I don't ever think he really ever got into second gear. He looked a little bit troubled with some of the body work, not overly troubled, but I think he was probably. To be honest with the kind of tactics that Gavin used, he was probably in second gear all night. So I don't think he's probably. Let's go with good. He looked good rather than any more than good.
Yeah, keep tabs on him. How old is he? I don't think he's very old, is he, that Vargas, or am I wrong? And he's like 30 odd.
I'm not too sure actually.
Let's have a look. Ainsley, did you watch it?
I didn't watch that. I watched some of the undercard. I couldn't be arsed to watch McDonnell because he just.
No, he's only 26. Yeah, I was right. He's not very old.
What the fuck is the point in Luke Campbell fighting that Jairo Lopez? That knockout was a good punch, but fuck me. What was the guy doing? He run towards him, didn't he? And it was like, oh.
I don't know what to do with Luke Campbell. Luke Campbell's a little bit like Ryan Burnett, a little bit like Callum Smith. He's a little bit, if you're going to tell us that these people are ready to fight for world titles, and this is my criticism of Eddie, he's in such a rush to put people on a pedestal and to put, he did it with Josh Warrington as well. I know you can look at Steve Wood being to blame and different people, but they say these people are ready to fight for world title fights, and then we get fed dog shit opponents, and it's like, really, how long is someone going to be in the final eliminators? How many times, it was shit, let's be honest. Luke Campbell made his debut outdoors. AJ's been a world champion and made about 3 defences since.
I thought it was one of his worst ever cards, to be fair. From the portion they televised, anyway, the 3 fights they televised. The last one wasn't that bad. I didn't dislike the Gavin McDonnell fight, and I usually slate people when they get praised for just being tough and just hanging in there. But fair play to him, because he was massively outclassed, and he did just stick at it for 12 rounds. He kept going.
Yeah, I don't think that there wasn't one bit of quitting Gavin McDonnell either. Like I said, I don't think he ever. The problem, he never seemed to try a plan B. It was a bit like he had Joe G in the corner sending him out, because he just come out and he just got peppered with this. He got so easily outboxed. So I suppose I might be playing Vargas a bit of a discredit there. But how good's Gavin McDonnell? Is he top European class? I don't think he is.
Euro level.
He's fringe Euro level, isn't he, at best?
Definitely. I think
And
that's fair.
there's no when he looks back in 20 years' time and he's telling people he fought for a world title, he's not going to have any regret because he didn't do anything different that he could have done. He's not good enough to go in there with like a plan B or a plan C or change it up midway through. He can just try and do what he did and just hope for the best. And he came up short. But there's no disgrace in that really. When you're his level, he's not disgraced himself in the slightest.
No, I don't want to get into that habit where just because somebody is European level, it's like it's a problem that they're not world level. Because I think to even get to the level he's done, I think he's done amazing. To be honest with you, if you look back at some of his early career performances.
Yeah, of course. And some people slate that he had the world title shot, but I suppose he earned it. Did he go in the European and then getting all your ranking belts and whatnot? So you get a shot, you take it, didn't you?
Yeah. 100%.
Luckily, he came up against a good opponent and not a shit one that he could milk a title from for years. Like do what some of them have done. But there we go. Luke Campbell's opponent. Honestly, I think that's the worst Mexican import I've seen over here in a long time. I was seeing some people on Twitter say they came as a pair, these two, but I don't know whether that's true or not.
He did stay behind. I remember he did sit there watching quite a bit of the main event. Quite bust up as well, and he didn't know what was really going on. So yeah, they probably did actually. It was probably a bog off on whatever the EasyJet version is for getting out of Mexico.
Well, I got a bit excited myself because he came in wearing a fucking mask, didn't he? Like, what's his face, Ronald Garrido does, and I thought, here we go then. Never one's gonna beat one of Hearns' boys, but no joy. Campbell's been stuck in the mud, hasn't he, for the last two since it's a Mendy fight.
Yeah.
I mean, there was the other Mendy as well, but he's absolutely shot to shit. I don't see what they're doing with Campbell at all. They get the Mendy rematch. If he wins, he wins. Well,
is he gonna win?
After that? I don't know.
Is he going to win?
He hasn't got all the stuff going on in the background like his dad being in it, which I suppose you don't really want to use that as an excuse because at the end of the day, you don't have to fight. If you're not up to it, then just say, got personal shit going on.
I should probably know myself there to make you look like casuals and not me.
Go again. You still there? Your signal's really bad, mate.
Yeah.
When did he turn over?
2013.
2013, because he did Dancing on Ice or whatever it was before, didn't he?
His first fight was like the summer show in Hull, and it must have been.
Yeah, when they tried to put the Frampton on the undercard, and then he fucked off. That's when all the shit started, wasn't it?
But like, I don't get. So he got beat by Mendy, right? And then who did he fight? He fought Gary Sykes, who's shit. Let's get fucking serious. He fought.
Then the other Mendy.
Mendez. He fought. Who shot to shit.
Mendez, yeah, and then Derry.
He looked shit against Mendez, to be fair, for portions that fight.
Well, he got dropped, didn't he?
Yeah, but you know what it is? It's like I've said it before, he don't get dropped like fucking rot to his boots. He just seems to go down. It's not like he's ever on the verge of getting stopped or anything. It's just like, fuck knows. It's weird. But Derry's fucking terrible, really, and let's be fucking right.
Yeah, you're no fan of Derry. We'll get onto that later.
No, but Mendy beat all of them. And like none of them. Derry's probably closest to mirroring Mendy, but he's got about 10% of his toughness. So it's like, well,
and about 3 weights too high now.
But do you know with the Campbell situation, it's probably everything that's wrong with boxing because he's called out Cardle, hasn't he? And he wants to box Cardle. Cardle's making one more defence of his British title to keep it. So, they're trying to get him anybody, other than, I know Joe Murray's put his name in the frame there. That fight...
They're trying to just do what they did with Smith, aren't they? And just get an absolute bomb.
Yeah, and it's just... But let's see Cardle and Campbell, Eddie. Make it happen. Because they're both kind of stuck, aren't they? At least Cardle would get him a little bit of... probably the best British opponent he's boxed by some distance.
Cardle's terrible, man. Like, he needs to get.
Yeah, I don't want to see Campbell doing that because again, if he's got aspirations of kicking onto world level, he's not a young kid, is he?
Yeah, but look,
is he not 30, Luke Campbell? They should be getting him like proper journeyman now, not Mexican bums no one's heard of or Derry Matthews. It needs to be proper. I suppose you could counter that by saying Derry went 12 with Flanagan, didn't he? But.
Yeah, but after Flanagan probably put about 50 grand on himself to go 12.
Yeah, so proper journeyman if you're going to kick him on. I mean, he's done the right thing. He's took himself over to the States, got a good trainer. Let's see him kick on. None of this fucking bullshit now on undercards. If he wants to make a go of it, then make a go of it, or fucking leave her and get yourself a proper promoter. Try and get yourself some proper fights and make a go of your career, because you ain't got long left if you're 30 odd. At them weights.
Steve Wood, what went on with it? Because apparently he turned down the Flanagan fight, didn't he?
Yeah.
They offered him, what was it? Frank said they offered him like big money for that as well, didn't they?
Yeah, apparently so.
But again, that could just be a Hearns saying, no, in BT, we're not going to help him out at all. If there's a fight, they're just not having it.
Well, do you know, the one thing from Saturday night's card, Eddie said the same thing about two opponents. He said it's about getting these guys out, getting them winning, getting them happy, and then having a big year. Dave Allen, and one was Luke Campbell. He's got aspirations and where they see guys go, and it's like, we're talking about Dave Allen. Yeah, he needs a bit of confidence. He's been in with two of the best in the world. Luke Campbell, I go back then, he made his debut, open air stadium, Olympic gold medalist. He's the TV poster boy, and it's we're kind of using the same defence for his fight as we had Dave Allen. For me, it's not good enough, to be honest. I'm getting pretty bored of Luke Campbell.
I've been bored with him from the start. I've not really been impressed by him. A lot of people were saying when they both turned over him and Vidasia that was going to be the fight that would crown like the king of the lightweight division for the future, but they both haven't fulfilled any of the potential that when they turned over you would have thought they would fulfill. But there we go. Anyway, moving on. Let's go to another person who's not fulfilling any potential, not that he had any anyway. Let's go with Deontay Wilder, who me and Ainsley have defended quite a bit, and they got a bit of egg on our face now. Because he's absolutely fucking shit. He's getting worse. He's getting worse, man. I don't know whether he was sort of at second guessing the hand in case it would break for the fucking umpteenth time, but he's getting worse. If you're getting outboxed by Gerald Washington, and he was getting outboxed, something is wrong. That is the worst performance of a heavyweight champion I can recall in a while. And bear in mind, we've seen Charles Martin.
Yeah, but you know what? I would say
he put up more of an effort than that.
What all this is with fucking Wilder is they had no confidence in him, so they just chucked him fucking 30-odd fucking idiots to get to a world title. He got it, and then they just decided to go backwards and keep fighting idiots. So he's never had to fucking fight properly. So he's just got into 1,000,001 bad habits, and he's just an absolute zoomer. Like, what the fuck? I can't even understand it. Like, nothing that he does makes sense. It's mental. Like, he's literally just windmilling, and then when people are up in front of him, when he can fucking fight on the inside, he don't plant his feet. He's got his right foot by his left knee. It's just like, what the fuck is he doing? I've never seen anything like it. It's just like, it's not even like difficult stuff. It's the most basic of things, and I've honestly no idea. Like, it's mental.
As shit as he is, at the same token, I wouldn't give him no chance against anyone, because he has got that. He's got that equaliser, and he's got a world class right hand and everything else at club level.
Yeah.
Brian, did you watch Wilder? I think you did.
I did.
What did you think?
I thought it was shit.
That's the worst world heavyweight title fight you're ever going to see. Like that, the worst.
No chance.
I wouldn't say it was worse than Martin and fucking Glasgow, because I was.
It was.
Akin Wandy and Scott Welsh.
Lewis, Akin Wandy.
Yeah. Yeah, but any fight Lewis is in is TV.
Aye, true. Yeah, it's just really shite, and it just so happens. You know how, like, when you watch, for saying, like, you just watch Wimbledon.
Your signal's really bad, mate.
Brian, you're breaking up.
There obviously
can't hear you.
One team that just
now, yeah.
Brian, yeah.
Since he's won that title, there's been no improvement at all. He looked good
No,
in the
but-
Stavern
but-
fight, but I think that was more by accident because Stavern just didn't do anything and Wilder was allowed to sort of play about with him.
But he was using his jab.
Yeah, and we've never seen him do that since, before
No,
or
it's just
since.
gone, and he's fucked now. He's absolutely fucked now because there's no way he's going to be able to get like every fight since he's just been fucking swinging like fuck. It's mental. Like I don't know, man. Like there's a lot of people who are responsible for like all of that shit, but
No, he's got that good trainer, that JD, or whatever his fucking surname. Yeah, we can now. Yeah, monologue he was giving us before.
right,
You
try
gone again?
taking your video off, you pleb.
Aye. Oh, aye.
Fucking idiot.
What the fuck is he doing?
This is making ITV's attempt to do pay.
Is that any better? It's a good one, T. Right, I'll just. Can you just not hear me? I'll break it down really quickly.
What the fuck is this? Brian, you're dead still.
Wales with the Euros and that's just.
Brian's now become Rangers.
Did right? Can you not hear me now?
Now we can now.
I'm having to fucking stand at a window like a creepy bastard.
Dedication.
Right. So basically, Wilder, I just feel as if like he just peaked in the one night against the Verne because everything he done that night, he's never ever done ever since, and he's actually deteriorated as a fucking fighter. He's absolutely shite. And if you watch his last couple of fights, he's actually been throwing punches while he's 2 feet off the ground, which nobody actually does. And the fact that he's got a trainer who is he's the best. He's one of the best, if not the best, like amateur boxing champions America's ever produced. So for him to be as technically fucking terrible as he is, I don't know what. So I don't know whether he just kind of peaked on that night because he doesn't even throw the jab. He rarely throws that fucking bomb that he throws. I know people were saying it was a bad stoppage, but see if you watched it for behind the referee's back, he stumbled right across to the other side of the rope, so he was done. But Wilder's terrible. I wouldn't pick anybody out the top 6 or 7 for him to beat. I actually think Parker would absolutely fucking ruin him. And that's not to say that Parker's great. I just think that Parker has got a decent chin. He's got a decent gas tank, and he's good on the inside. And if you don't throw a jab against somebody like that, you're just going to be an absolute nightmare.
Well, the WBC have mandated the rematch, haven't they, for the title? Yeah, a fully fit Stavern who comes up wanting to win, I think can actually give him a lot of trouble.
Clean Sport WBC.
Yeah.
No, I just think he's awful, and like I said to you at the weekend, I think he's going to cash himself out. I think he's going to try and get the winner of the both title fights in the next couple of months. I think he's going to try and go for the two of them because he's not got much left. Everybody knows he's fucking shite. He's that bad. I think Brazil would give him a fight, and Brazil's absolutely garbage.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I've seen people saying the Brazil fight makes perfect sense, but it makes perfect sense for no one.
No,
other than the fans, really, because it would be quite an entertaining fight. But from Wilder's point of view,
these fucking perverts.
Yeah, but from Wilder's point of view, he's gonna get beat, isn't he? So, or could get beat. You've got to cash himself out as soon as he can for the most money.
Cash me outside. How about that?
How about that? But he's just going to come over here, and if Femi beats Vlad, then he's going to come over here in a massive pay-per-view. And he'll be saying, "Oh, he's the most dangerous heavyweight in the world, 37 knockouts," and then he'll come over here and get splattered in a few rounds.
If I was Wilder, I would be questioning God, because if you fucking go into every fight thanking God for this performance and going home with your children, I'd be like, God must think you're a fucking ball bag if he gives you so minimum talent for you to look absolutely fucking garbage. You would think, like, if you pray as much as that fucking big queer does, that he'd be decent, but he's absolutely pish. Absolutely fucking pish.
He was blessed with I'm not going to say that, but
no, it's like see if you actually look. I think he was down. He was down in the scorecards at the weekend, right? Regardless of what the judges had, he was down on the scorecards with Spielka. He was down in the scorecards with somebody else, right? He's decent to watch. It's always in a competitive fight, but see, and it's one of the things. a striker. All he does is score. Right, fair enough. All Wilder does is knocks people out. But if somebody can take that fucking power, he's dead. He's absolutely fucking dead. And I think, like, see if you start, like, I know you only got to see a quick clip, like David Hay sparring him or not, but he was bull rushing him and everything, and Hay doesn't even fucking fight like that. And you just think, I was like, see if you put Hay in with Wilder, I think Wilder would die. I think he would literally die.
Yeah, I wouldn't give him much chance against anyone other than if he catches him clean. Then I think he's putting anyone to sleep. And he's so unorthodox. Someone could try and bum rush him, and he could just unleash that overhand right, and it clock him on the chin or something, and then that's all she wrote.
But that's basically it. He's still got that equaliser. I think he's able to knock MD out. I was always questioning whether his power's actually legit or it's just the opponent say he's fighting. But at the same time, he's doing stuff to people that others like. I actually don't think that Brian Jennings is that bad a fighter. People give him a bit of grief, but his was a competitive fight with Spielkin. It took him a fucking lot to get him stopped, but Wilder just absolutely fucking waste him, and it's not like Femi power where it's a combination of stuff. He's got one punch knockout power. He has got absolutely fucking legit beastie power. Imagine,
yeah, but that's because his arms are like 46 miles long, and he
right,
fucking.
And he puts everything to it as well, doesn't he?
Yeah,
like literally everything.
It didn't even hurt fucking Washington when it got stopped by hitting him. It was just that the fucking wind he was generating from swinging. It was just fucking sending him all over, man.
Could you imagine being the size of Wilder and able to punch that hard? I would be like doing this. I'd be getting into Glasgow, right? I'd be going to like fucking. The Arches is close, but any techno place, right? And it's just pure techno, and you'd be just bumping into people and all that. But I think you're doing your big dick now, you just knock them clean out, wouldn't you? You'd be just taking liberties, non-fucking stop. Oh,
moving on from Wilder then, because I don't want to talk about him too much because there's not much to talk about really, other than he's not very good. Let's go to the other heavyweight fight, which I actually quite enjoyed. This I thought it was quite fun. Brazil and I can't pronounce this fella's name.
Ogano or some shit.
Ogano, Uzi Ogano, however you fucking say it. But I really enjoyed that. Like it's a Zuma fight in a like low level American domestic heavyweight fight, but it was quite fun. Ainsley, did you catch it?
Yeah, it's quite. Why there was loads of people up that other guy's arse, weren't there? Before the fight.
What, that Ogano fella?
Yeah. Fuck
yeah,
me,
I backed him. I put a bet on him purely because I thought Brazil would just fold, but he didn't.
He's got the lung capacity of a dormouse, that cunt. Yeah, but
it's not. I do like it when you see someone knacker themselves like they just offer himself out to be KO'd in the end.
Yeah, but when he dropped Brazil, didn't he? And then he just fucking didn't do anything. Just for the next round, let Brazil fucking get his head back together, and then that were it. He was fucked. Fair play to Brazil though, because he. But I think again, it sort of shows that fucking Femi's power's not all that great because he got hurt a few times. Well, quite a lot.
Dave, do you want to say anything on Wilder or anything on this card briefly?
Yeah, Deontay Wilder is like one of the most unskilled heavyweight world champions for a long time. I'm guessing this has already been said, but I'll have my 2 pence. Just his lack of technique is baffling, but like. I don't think anyone near him is like correcting him or saying, do you fancy keeping your feet on the floor when you throw a punch? I watched a video on the PBC Facebook one day last week, and they've got like a head cam on his pad man, and as he's doing the pads, he throws a left hook and like does a twirl as if he's a ballerina and like flies around, and then he lands in front of the pad man again. But like. Do you know if someone was taking a piss, like if it was Prince Naz, you'd get that it was part of the show and he's very unlikely to do that in the fight? I wouldn't rule out Wilder doing that. I wouldn't rule him out doing a star jump and then punching someone. I wouldn't rule him out doing a roly-poly and then trying to punch someone. And it's not like, some fellas, you go, oh yeah, they're unorthodox. Wilder isn't unorthodox. He's just extremely raw. And it's amazing. Don't get me wrong, like he is blessed with very good physical attributes. And he might be the hardest hitter in the heavyweight division. I certainly think he hits harder than Anthony Joshua, who's also a bit of a beast. But he's blessed with these physical attributes. But the lack of skill, it is amazing that he's got to where he is. It's amazing that he's fought for a world title, let alone won it and then defended it, even if he's not fought the best guys. And as for Dominic Brazil, I Like, I've seen him 3 times now, and in every fight he's been dropped. But I really think he's going to be, he's probably not the best, but I think he's always going to be in fun fights, and his shelf life might be short because of that. But I'll enjoy watching him every time, I think.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that on Brazil. He was fun against Mansour.
Yeah, and every time he's gone down, even against Joshua, he took a bit of a pasting in the end against Joshua. But apart from that, every time he's gone down, he always gets back up. And, as long as someone's willing, then, you can't ask for too much more.
His eye went again in this fight. Did you see it start to swell again really bad?
Very, very similar, wasn't it? To the
it looked like an ass cheek again.
And it was the same eye as well. So I do wonder if there's, if that's going to be an injury that doesn't never really heal.
They happen, don't they? Like you see it with Vargas. As soon as he gets touched in his face now, it just blows up like a balloon.
Yeah.
Did any of you watch Jarrett Hurd? Because I didn't see this because I forgot all about this card, and I forgot all about this card, and then people was talking about it on Sunday morning. I was like, oh, fuck, what was the fault last night? The two heavyweight fights was on Sky Catch Up, but this one wasn't, so I haven't seen it.
He's good, that Hurd. He'd absolutely waste Brook, I'll tell you.
Yeah, I heard you say that. And again, you're being complimentary about people, and that doesn't happen often, so he must have something about him.
So it's funny, man, because if fucking Hearn would have got Brook to move up, he'd either had to face Charlo, who would have wasted him, and now he'd have to fight Hurd, who would just fucking wreck him. Hurd's a big
what happened? Did it follow the same sort of routine where Tony Harrison's quite good for a few rounds, and then he gets found out and tires, and then someone takes over?
The stoppage was harsh, though. He got dropped with a good shot, a right hand over the top, or was it across, whatever it was. He got dropped, and when he got back up, he looked completely fine to carry on. But he was a bit cheeky, and he spat his gum shield out. And I think the referee took exception to that. Usually, the referees would take a point off you. We saw it with like Corrales, obviously the famous example against Castillo, bought himself a bit more time. Where I think the referee took exception to it and just disqualified him outright, which I thought was a bit harsh. He looked like he could definitely continue.
Yeah, like I think it just delayed the inevitable, but it probably shouldn't have stopped it then. But
he's probably going to get stopped, but you've got to do it the proper way, haven't you?
What do you think?
It hurt him in the 8th round. It was hurting him a lot with the right hand, like a lot of it. But like he couldn't seem to get out of the way of stuff, Harrison. Like,
what do you think the future holds for him then? Do you think there'll be unifications, or do you think he'll take it steady for the time being? Because
I'm not sure.
I've always been quite critical of 154 lately because it's like PBC infested it and no cunt fights each other. But it's actually there's some quite good people there now.
They're all good, but there's Canelo aside, he's probably never going to fight the weight again. Canelo aside, there's no real names. So now Charlo could have been a name, but obviously he's the good Charlo has vacated and gone up. So yeah, they're all in a similar sort of situation. I think the best thing to do in that situation is fight each other and see who comes out on top.
Brian, is he one of your team black slickness, this Jarrett Hurd, or not really?
He's not a slick black fighter, no.
Yeah, but Brian claims any black, doesn't he?
Yeah, but he's not slick.
Is he still there? Yeah.
Can you hear me? Right.
No, I can't hear you.
Right, I'll tell you, bro. That's kind of things. Right, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Right, fucking phone. Right, we heard. I was zoning in and zoning out in this fight, so I didn't really watch much of it. But we heard, he's like basically he's entertaining enough. He's one of the guys that kind of tries to look slick, but gets hot often enough, and it's not as if like he's been in with total world class guys, but he's decent. What was the last fight? Was it Galaza?
No, that was a little while ago. His last fight with Donut Dan.
Oh fuck!
He fought Galaza like 18 months ago.
Aye.
What sort of opponent would you say is next for him then? Someone like an Austin Trout, who's a name but faded bad.
I can't see Trout taking that.
I'd like any fight you can get at the moment, though, doesn't he?
Yeah, but I think he's just trying to slob it out and fucking snake him with a WBO because he knows it's going to end up with a worse fighter.
Liam Williams is winnable fight.
Everybody's just holding on to their belts until my boy fucking comes and takes them all off him.
Well, we get to your boy in a bit because he's fighting on the weekend, isn't he?
Yeah, fucking right.
You got hard on for that?
I don't know. Well, I'm going to say it outright. Nothing to do with this conversation, but I literally saw on about I saw on Facebook about 10 minutes ago that Dean Francis, one of Bristol's finest, has cancer, and it looks like it's incurable.
Cheers for that. Way to brighten everyone's evening.
Who's that?
Yeah.
Dewey, just bringing a mood down.
Aye, but who's he talking about?
Dean Francis,
Who's that again?
Bristol boxer.
Oh, right, Baba.
Right, thanks for stopping us mid-flow there, Dave. Where was we? What was we talking about?
Has Macho even spoke yet?
No, Macho, speak.
Hello.
Yeah.
All right.
Do you want to give us a rundown of your thoughts on the weekend? You can talk about Wilder, Gavin McDonald, whatever you want. I'll give you free reign.
I'll give it. What have you done the Gavin McDonald fight yet?
Yeah, but go back to it if you want.
No, I'm not bothered about that really.
I keep
No, Wilder,
naughty that.
You slag.
I love Wilder. I think Wilder's quality. He's absolute best, but the vulnerable fighters are the best fighters. And as Dewey said, like when he throws his jab, he sort of jumps off the floor. It's really bizarre. He's terrible to watch, but because he's so vulnerable and we know he's got a bit of a glass chin, I think he's great. He's exciting to watch, and he's got proper legit power. Definitely the hardest puncher in the division. So I thought that was quite a fun fight. Brazil fight was what it was. He seemed to be actually throwing punches and throwing combos like he meant it, but against it's sort of all I kept thinking was, why didn't he do that against Joshua? He went to survive rounds against Joshua, but I know it's easier said than done, but I thought he looked all right actually. And again, he's another vulnerable fighter. He's always going to be in exciting fights because he could get hurt, and he's got a decent art. But I didn't see much of the Turd fight. I'm calling him Turd. I watched like the first round, and both their stances and just the way they fight just sort of annoyed me. And I thought, I can't be bothered to watch this. So it sort of pissed me off, so I turned it off. So I've got nothing to add about it.
Well, thanks for that.
So that's my contribution.
Sorry, have you got anything to speak about this, Jared Hurd, mate? Or Wilder, or whatever you want?
I'll just say on Wilder, you know when you used to watch ESPN on a Friday night and they'd have like a really shit house fighter supporting the main event? If you didn't know, that's what you think you were watching from years ago, watching it, but that's about it. Like I just said, he's exciting, isn't he? But I think all the heavyweights, it's probably the poorest heavyweight champions we've had in a long, long time, to be honest.
Other than Charles Martin.
Yeah.
Anything else over the weekend?
It's not accepted.
Fuck was that? Who's listening to Claude?
Who's that?
That sounded like
That was
Rocco.
you. Have you got Arsenal TV on in the background or something, Ainsley? Sounded like fucking Claude was going mental.
No, I ain't got it on now.
No, what the fuck that was? Right. Anyway, do you want to talk about Tony Bellew and David Haye?
Tony Haye.
And then we get to the proper fight after that. That's happening this weekend.
Yeah.
Who wants to start? I'm actually going to this, so my opinion is invalid if I say shit fight.
I was supposed to be going this as well. I'll get free corporate tickets for the O2, but I'm not going to be there now. I've got to go to Cyprus. So I'm in Cyprus tomorrow, so I'll be away. I'll be missing it, which is a shame because I would have liked to have gone because it's a free ticket, but never mind.
Well, you've been called home, have you?
Pretty much so, yeah, I've got to do national service because I'm so fucking bang hard. They need me over there for national service.
Yeah, we tell the truth on this pod, mate. We don't lie.
I ain't lying. I'm fucking nails, isn't I? Carry on.
If it goes longer than 2 rounds, I think that's a failure on David Haye's part.
If it goes longer than 1.
And no, I give him a round just to fuck about, and then the second round he's got to evaporate him. Andy Patterson saying, "Hey, yeah, what are you saying?"
No, I don't really want to say no now because I feel as if like what I've got to say about this fight and stuff, we could get our cunt kicked in. So
Who gives a fuck? Say what you got to say.
No, it's really, really controversial. It's really bad. Like I feel as if I don't really want to say it.
Say it.
I know what you're going to say.
Dave, you should probably drop off if he's going to drop a bomb there.
I know what he's going to say.
Get on with
Go
it,
on.
Puff.
Go on in, Brian.
Just say it.
He's got to walk to the window.
He's going to chuck himself out of it afterwards.
You know, Fuck it. I like to fucking double down, don't I? Like, see us talk about like people are like, absolutely disgusted with what David Hay's been saying. I've said this in the chat anyway, right? This is going to be like controversial. There's some people's going to be fucking raging about it, right? But I don't care what he says. I really don't have an issue with what he says. I don't have an issue with like Mike Tyson saying he's going to eat people's veins, like going to hospitalise. I know there's a bit of like taboo about boxing now because of what's happened with like Blackwell, what's happened with Powell. Like, seriously, this is people's jobs. This is what they're employed to do. There's a risk here, and that is one of the risks. But things like that to harm. So I don't get why people can't like, just turn around and say, look, clearly he doesn't mean what he's saying, unless he's fucking mental, right? But I don't get all this like fucking grief. Like this is what harms in boxing. It's fucking harm for you're not going to be able to stop like people getting fucking injured, seriously injured. Like, look,
Brian, just a quick question: is anything that Haye said not true? When he said, "I'm going to cave your skull in, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that," is any of that not true?
No, it's the way
that is what he's going to do.
People are kind of just like deciding to be offended with what David Hayye says when there's been fucking far worse being said.
Yeah, but Bellew said before that he's willing to die in the ring, so why is he bothered if someone said that they want him dead?
Well, he's going to get his wish.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like, well, I mean, look, right, Hayye don't mean what he's fucking saying, and none of them do, but for fuck's, it's like, and that's the point, like, if you're a boxer, you know shit can go horribly wrong. And it's not to say that we just say if something does that, it's just like, oh, well, look at you, you fucking knew that was coming. It's not. We're not saying that. It's just that you know there's risks attached to it. Everybody knows there's risks attached to it, but it's like.
Well, that's the annoying thing. Because Bellew's taken the moral high ground about outrage, this fake outrage, social justice against what David Hay's been saying. But at the press conference, it was Bellew that told Haye to shut the fuck up when Haye was talking. And then when Haye went off on one, he was like, oh, there's children, watch your language. And I'm like, you fucking prick. You're the one who started swearing. You're the one who started cutting across him. So I don't know. It's fucking annoying, to be fair.
Everybody knows I prefer like a boxer, right? I'm not being like this sort of hipster. It's just what I like. Everybody all the time that they get into boxing, they see a knockout. How do people get knockouts?
By punching them really hard in the face.
Yeah, exactly. How the physics.
It's bod.
Yeah, you won't hear this anywhere else.
Right? No, basically, if you see the physics of fucking knocking somebody out, you're attempting to punch somebody fucking square on the fucking jaw hard enough as it is, then it's going to fucking malfunction your brain to the point where you're going to pass out. That's the whole point of it. There is fucking risk towards this, right? So this is all what people want to go to boxing for. They want to see somebody get fucking knocked out. So he's just basically saying it in a worse way. I've absolutely no fucking problem with it. It's just basically, you know how like people, all the Brit fuckers like go to the army and that and end up getting fucking done in. You know that in Afghanistan, and people are like, oh, I say fucking fight, help the heroes. And all. I was like, no, it's your fucking job. You're the risk you can go to Afghanistan to try to kill cunts. It's just the shit happens. Shit happens. Shit fucking happens.
Well, do you remember with Tony Bellew when that whole thing kicked off with Bunty on TalkSport? It was something to do with Tony Bellew said he would die in the ring, and then Bunce questioned it, and then Tony Bellew said, "Oh, you blah, blah, blah."
It was that Bellew said that, and then Bunce basically said, "You've said you'd die in the ring," and then you basically threw your purse at Stevenson.
Something along them lines, anyway. But yeah,
it was no sort of like you say you died in the ring and you didn't die in the ring. But just basically, you didn't put the effort into fucking actually get through with something like that. It wasn't as crass as that, but he basically were going to leave it all out there and you didn't fucking do that at all.
But everyone's completely overlooked that fight in this build-up, haven't they? Like Sky have not mentioned it once. Hayes not mentioned it.
I think it's in the contract or saying it's got to be. I don't understand why. I think we mentioned this before a few weeks ago. I've got no idea why Hayes not mentioning it. No one is.
I feel Hayes intelligent enough to realise that like they're waiting for that to get mentioned, and like the same way that Quigg was like coached into all his answers. He probably thinks that they're automatically going to turn around and say, "I was totally drained at the weight and all that. I've not been fucking stopped since and all that. Once I went up in weight, I've been bombing people out." Like,
Yeah, but Bellew's using the Thompson fight, isn't he? Bellew keeps going on about Cole Thompson. He was mentioning something in the amateurs as well. I mean, fuck me.
Right. People can give Bellew shit. Really quick. Like, I'm not saying he's intelligent, but he's like street smart. He knows what to come back with. He is really fucking quick.
Yeah, he's a good troll.
Oh, sorry, it's fucking mint, man. But he's not as good as me. I've trolled him fucking all my days, and he used to not be able to handle me, but then he embraced me. I basically put him on my right titty, and he suckled off the mummy.
Tony Bellew's a friend of the pod. Like, I don't want to wish him any ill or nothing, but he's in a fight he can't win. Simple as that, isn't it?
The thing is, this fight does nothing for David Haye other than his wage, right? It does nothing for. But if Bellew wins, Bellew is legitimately, in my opinion, top 5-6 heavyweight in the world.
But he can't win.
What?
He can't win.
I know he can't win, but if he does win, he is legitimately one of the fucking top 6 guys in the division.
Would Tony Bellew beating Haye be a better win than Femi beating an old Vlad?
What, if Bellew beat Haye?
Yeah,
that's
I know it's a big if and it's not going to happen.
That's a much better win than if Femi beating Vlad.
Yeah, but you don't know because we don't know what Vlad's going to be like in April. So I think you have to wait and see first.
Oh, I don't know. I think we've
got
a good idea what it's going to be
like. No fights.
Yeah, but I don't think you can because it's all guesswork. It's fucking and like I don't know, man.
I think we know what Klitschko's got more so than we know. When we don't know what Haye's got. If that makes
anyway,
sense.
I don't want to get on this for too long because Bellew's not going to fucking win. So there's no point, is there? What round are you picking? Because I suppose anyway, you all got sense on here, aren't you? So you're all picking Haye. What round?
No, I'm not going to be two-facing this, right? I said this when this fight get announced that I didn't want this fight to fucking happen because it's not that I fucking really like Bellew or nothing, but I think everybody's opinion changed him. I used to speak to him like the odd time, like through DMs and all, so I actually knew that he wasn't a ball bag. But I don't like. As much as people have got a hard on for seeing cunts get their fucking skull caved, I don't like seeing people. See when I think it's a mismatch. I don't like seeing somebody fucking taking a right bad one because I feel uncomfortable sitting watching it when you know a fight's a fucking mismatch. No, it's not a fucking Rod Salka like Danny Garcia here, but you knew even people are like, or look at the vine for like Rod Salka, like why? It's no fucking funny. It could have been. It might mind like Colin fucking stuffing that stripper, and everybody was in fucking absolute uproar with that because it was such a mismatch, and the guy could have been in a bad way.
Everyone's going to be in uproar after this because Bellew's getting fucking destroyed.
I've said here, I think this is a clean knockout. That this is like basically, you know how like what Bellew done with like Makabu. I think it could be something like this where like who does it get sparked out for? You know, like fucking Zlatty Cannon, just a pure serious savage fucking one punch knockout.
Oh, Spilker when he pissed himself.
Exactly. I said this earlier. I said this to you this morning. I think pound for pound, he is one of the biggest punchers in boxing. Pound for pound.
Yeah, but he's also riddled full of fucking everything.
Oh, we know that, so that just adds to it. I mean, and this is my hypocrisy here when it comes to Bellew. I'll come back to it. I know you were all trying to pick the round up. Bellew's always going on about steroids. He's right. He's an advocate for fucking clean sport. He's casting us like the people casting out like aspersions like he's fucking juice in here, and we all think he fucking is, right? So why are you taking this fucking fight? He says you when you go to Russia and fight guys because they're juicing. We know it's a rhetorical question. We know he's taking the fight because of the money. But should you not be fucking making a point here and deliberately not fighting guys that you suspect that are juicing? I think like if you notice that he is now totally shredded. He's lost that kick. You know, he was totally bulked up with his shoulder and that because they says they so he had like the 6-pack. Have you seen him lately? He's absolutely fucking shredded.
Yeah, he looks small again. He looks like when he first turned to heavyweight.
He's got the mystical V shape where you know you've been doing all manners of sit-ups.
There's been some chat. There's been some chat on some forums. So there's a secret. It's probably bollocks. A secret rehydration clause in it because Haye is light. I wouldn't even be shocked if he's lighter than Bellew.
Yeah, but why would Haye not fucking say if there was one? He'd say if there was.
That's because it's a fucking secret into the contract.
Right, do you
There
think
was-
Haye is going to allow any secret fucking shit going on?
I don't think it matters to him, to be fair. He's getting
Hayes
paid.
already said though that Hayes already said that there is no rehydration clause.
Yeah, he did. He said that in the first press conference, and he also said like it proves how much Eddie Hearn don't care about you because he's putting you in a fight with me with no rehydration clause. So yeah, he has said that. To be fair, he's probably bollocks, but there was a bit of chat going around, probably because of how light Haye looks.
Yeah, he's fucking riddled with it. That's why he's out in Miami or fucking off to Germany and all sorts.
Well, you said, didn't he, as soon as Varda's come in, Hayes got smaller and smaller and smaller.
Soon as
He's
what?
right.
Right, pick your rounds then.
3.
3. Dave?
Maximum of 4, absolute maximum, which is
So-
in the bookies is 5-4, which is great money.
Si?
2.
Good man. Macho?
Right, well, it all depends on what Haye wants to do. It's a bit long-winded. If Haye legit wants Joshua, he needs everyone in that arena booing the shit out of him when it finishes. So I reckon he's going to go out there and do it in one round. Everyone's going to be going fucking spastic. He grabs the mic, he puts all the heat onto Hearn, blames Hearn for everything, and then calls out Joshua and says, "You need to give me Joshua. You need to give me a proper fight." I don't think he's going to carry Bellew at all. If I was advising him, and he's probably listening, I don't think he's going to carry him. I think he's going to get him out of there early, and I'm going to go one round. As soon as he hits him once, it's game over. The worst thing Haye can do is carry him for 3 or 4 rounds. It'll look terrible. He's got to get him out early.
In defence of Hay, he said from the off that this is a mismatch, and he said the same about Audley as well. So I don't think he's he has talked shit in the past and he's talked shit in the build up to this fight. But I think he's been quite honest. He said it's a complete mismatch.
Yeah, he said the same when he knocked out that Welshman, Enzo Macronelli, as well. Then he said that was a mismatch and he'd get him
That's
really
how
early.
it is, but
And
he got a lot of
I can't
stick.
remember that one. I can't remember that.
Huh?
He got a lot of stick for the Harrison fight for doing nothing for 3 rounds. I don't think he does that here. I think he's just going to go in there and just take him out early doors and just wander around the ring with his hands stretched out wide, just raining, taking all the booze in. I don't think he goes for
What's Bellew going to do though? Is he stupid enough to just meet him in the middle and trade with him, or do you think he's going to try and box on the back foot and work behind a jab and take him into the late rounds like he said?
I think that's
He's gonna
his
be all
best
left
bet, Scarpy. He's got to try and spark him. If he tries to box him long, I don't think he's skillful enough to not get hit. Remember, like when he fought Masterneck, I don't rate Masterneck at all, but Masterneck was hitting him with right hands throughout the fight. Nothing major. But Bellew is very hittable since he's gone heavier.
BJ Flores fucking tagged him and made his knees dip, man.
Yeah.
If you look at
Yeah.
Bellew's last 2 fights, his tactics has been to just come out and just take whatever he's got to take to get him out of there. His tactics has been next to non-existent.
Well, that's a tenfold coach, isn't it?
He's been practicing that left hook. The one that he took Macabo out with, the sort of the last left hook. He's been practicing that a lot, and I would imagine he's just going to probably put his head down and just wing away with that left hook. But it doesn't make no difference. He's getting fucking absolutely clean. The best case scenario for him is he gets knocked out by a body shot. Because I don't get all this, Haye will knock him out in one shot. Hayes quick enough to hit him 4 or 5 times. I'm being honest. I'm legit concerned that Bellew could get seriously hurt. I reckon he might try and get up, and whether Caldwell throws a tail in or not, I don't know. But this is dangerous. This is a legit dangerous fight.
I don't think he's got a good enough chin to get seriously hurt though, because the fights where you see someone get a serious injury, we've seen a lot of them in the last 18 months, are fights where people can take the power and it's the repeated blows. These tend to do a lot more damage than the mismatches where someone gets blasted out, in 1 or 2 knockdowns.
Yeah, we've seen Bellew before when he's felt someone's power and he didn't like it, that he did just shell up and.
But this is the thing I don't understand. What was it? That Bob Adjisev dropped him. Oval McKenzie dropped him.
Yeah, but
he really struggled with Cleverly. He got destroyed by old fucking Stevenson. He's got dropped by Macabo. He got his legs stiffened by BJ Flores, and now he's stepping up to fight Haye, who's been 12 rounds with a prime Klitschko in Germany. I mean, I just don't get why anyone would think for a second that this is going to be anything other than an absolute fucking massacre.
I know, but I mean, like, Macabo hits fucking fairly hard, so that's not like, he's got a shit chin because he got dropped by him. And I mean, I don't. It sounds like I'm making an excuse, but he did get sent to hell by Stevenson. But it did look like he'd fucking been in Auschwitz.
I'm telling you, everyone's going to be raging after this fight. Everyone's going to be raging.
As if
Carpet.
Then David Hayes not gonna, David Hayes not gonna have a problem hurting him.
Fuck's sake, man! Have you seen that picture of Tyson Fury?
Yeah, he's massive.
Sorry, what was you going to say then, mate?
So, to be honest, I'm a bit fucking embarrassed how much time we've spent talking about this. I know it's a big fight, but for every $16.95 that someone pays, I don't know exactly what it is in the contract, but A's going to be on at least £2.50 of every pay-per-view. He does it before every big fight, gets everybody talking. Today, Talk Sport, this was the main story people were talking about. For me, I'm fucking bored to death of this. I just want it over. Let him get his paycheck. Let him get out of there. I do think A's going to win it early. I don't get why we class ourselves as one of the boxing fans are giving all the stuff he said he's going to do. He doesn't do any of it. Hey, he's a businessman.
That's true.
He's all talking about the fight. He gets us all buying the pay-per-view, and then it's either a non-event with someone like Audley where he doesn't turn up, or he doesn't produce the level he says he's going to do. You look at Valuev. He said to expect what he was going to do. He went out there and boxed to a plan to get a decision. Vladimir, he hurt his toe. Audley Harrison. David Hayes a businessman. He's a clinical heavyweight. He's going to go in there. Tony Bellew shouldn't be in the ring with him. Can we please fucking move on?
Right, moving on then, because the boss put his foot down. Right, let's go to a proper fight. Danny Garcia versus Queef Thurwoman. Another Andy Pattersonism. Go on again.
Well, I'll tell you what, see if this was fucking Rocky Fielding and John Ryder, Si would be talking for about an hour and a half.
Right, briefly then, say what you got to say and then we're moving on.
Right, well, I just want to kind of cover all angles here, right? You know how they mentioned like the Carl Thompson thing and like him gassing? He was basically a novice at that point. He was like a show off. He gets stopped on his feet. He was refusing to fucking quit, right? But at the same time, that was fucking years ago. Carl Thompson could have easily get stopped in that fight himself. See if that was now. He would have got stopped. He would have won that. But
that was Hayes' first 12 rounder as well, I think.
Yeah, and you've got to remember it doesn't matter whether the fight with Klitschko was shite or no. He moved all night for 12 rounds against the fucking best heavyweight in the world and went 12 rounds. So see this, he gasses after so many rounds. It's a fucking myth because he proved it in that fight that he could do it. He's the biggest puncher I know. So this thing, I don't know if this is going to be like fight or flight with Bellew, where he feels the power fucking straight away and tries to fight like Stevenson, or he just basically says, "Oh, I'm just going in for a tear up here and just get knocked out." Or I'm hoping for the best. You know how I thought that maybe Golovkin, like Brook, would turn into like a bit of fucking tear up because Brook always knew he was going to get done in, but then he totally fucking fried her brain and boxed all right for a while. So I don't know. I personally think that his chin is underrated. People talk as if like if he gets hit in the jaw. No, he's took fucking punches off a lot of bigger guys. Like Klitschko did hit him. Maybe didn't hit him absolutely flush, but he still hit him and he was still there for the 12 rounds. He's been in with bigger guys. He can punch better than anybody. He can take a better punch. He's get better. He's faster. He's a better boxer.
He's got better everything. He does everything better. Everything better.
And this isn't on Bellew here. It's no, the guy fucking done more than I thought. Like, I didn't know much about Makabu, and I thought that Makabu, I was like, if Bellew fucking tries to box, he could maybe win a decision. I didn't see him knocking him clean out. So he's exceeded my expectations. So it's no, I'm not tearing into Bellew here. I just think that David, I hate David Hayes, a scumbag, but I just think David Hayes is this good. And if this wants to be over in the first round, it can be over in the first round, because I honestly believe he can easily do, like, you know how a Golovkin Gil take a punch to fucking give a punch, because he knows that he can take that power. I don't like. I just fuck, man. This could be the troll and move on. See for the Scousers at the weekend, man. Oh, this could be nuclear.
Just one quick thing before you move on. I'm going to make one prediction. On the way in, I don't think Bellew weighs in with his shirt off. I think he wears an Everton shirt, because they're quite big in symbolism and all that shit. And Hayes going to be ripped to fuck, and they don't want that. No offense, Stewie, they don't want that David Haye, Enzo McNarelli thing when they're just looking at each other going, "Well, this is embarrassing." So I reckon he does that.
I don't take offence at any criticism of any Welshman ever.
No, but that was awkward when they were standing like there's Frank Warren looking, going, "Fucking hell, look at the state of Enzo and look how ripped fucking Haye looks."
I would embrace it. You know how like when Carl Froch get the piss ripped out of him for 80,000 and he eventually turned it round by taking the piss out himself. Bellew should embrace it and do what Hatton does and walks in with a fat suit or something like that. And just
so he does embrace it. He calls himself skinny fat and that, doesn't he? He's not. You're not bothered by it.
Bellew won't want to do it, but I think it's Hearn, because a lot of the casuals will look at that and they're stupid and go, that geezer's ripped, and look at the state of him. It wouldn't surprise me if Hearn says to him, kick top him. Just going to throw that out there. I would not be shocked at all. And just one more thing, just for me, about Bellew, because I've been slating him a bit. I do think he's actually got the best record of any matchroom fighter. I know he's had some of that away from him, but in terms of like British, Commonwealth, European, fringe world level, he has come up the right way, and he has got a decent record. So
they've all been vacant titles, though, haven't they?
Yeah, they might be vacant titles. But if you look, he has gone through the levels. He hasn't just jumped from like British domestic level all the way into world. He has gone through the gears. So
he was robbed against Clev the first time as well.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
Yeah, it's vacant, but like McAboo for a vacant title's not that bad. It's not like fucking.
Get your cock out of fucking Bellew's arse here just because you don't like Haye, man. You're making me sick.
Yeah, but you only like Haye, like fucking most people only like Haye because he fucking has Hearn on the run. He's fucking he is one of the worst people involved in boxing. Like, he is so bad for boxing, it is unreal. He's literally just fucking scamming people because he owes some dodgy cunt some money.
Bro, I'm Team Haye until he ices Femi, and then I'll get off that train, and then all's right with the world.
O'Hara Davies hate tonight.
No, fuck that. We're not talking about O'Hara. We're not gracing him with the next big pod. Right, let's talk about who wants to go first, Thurman Garcia.
Thurman's going to win.
Get by the window, no cunt can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. See, before you go into the Thurman, that, like, I really want Bellew to win.
Fuck's sake, stop talking about this.
No.
Yes! Fucking move on!
I just want to say, like, if it wasn't for Haye, if it wasn't for fucking Hearn doing that interview after that, he smarmy fucking bald inside shade, like fucking just squeezing up, like talking pure shit and saying that he's one of the best fucking fighters on the planet and all that, I would deal with it. But I hate Hearn. I really do hate Hearn. I really wish that he would get on a private jet and it would just crash and die.
Right, good. Thurman Garcia. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. I think Thurman's going to win on points. I'll just play it out. I don't think Garcia is all that good. Well, he's not all that good. It's been exposed a few times. I don't think his power's all that great, but nor is Thurman's. So I'd be surprised if either one got chinned. But I think that I know Thurman's made a bit of hard fights out of some that shouldn't have been, but I mean, like, Peterson beat Garcia, really, didn't he? Herrera beat Garcia, really, didn't he? Matisse ran him fucking close. I mean, beating Garcia and fucking Guerrero and Paul is not much to shout about, is it? I mean, that, like, Porter is a legit fucking welterweight who beat most guys. Like, if he fought Garcia, he'd have a good chance beating him. I just like the preparation from Garcia is just awful again. Why he fought that Vasquez?
No, but I can counter that and say the preparation from Thurman's abysmal as well. He fought last June. Before that, it was again the previous year. He fights one time. He fights once a year.
Yeah, that's what it's called, one time.
That's good.
Yeah, but I mean, but what? Fucking Garcia fought Guerrero in January last year, and then he's fought fucking Sammy Vargas. It's not like he's fucking been active. And who did he have before that? He fought fucking Paulie, and then he'd only just beat Peterson. Before that, he fought Solka, and then before that was when he robbed Herrera. I mean, fucking Garcia.
Yeah, he's hardly on a murderer's row. I'll give you that.
It's shit. I think because like Thurman didn't have his own way at all. Obviously against Paul, it was a good fight. And I think that'll fucking.
Well, you say that, but I thought Thurman beat Porter much more convincingly than Brook did.
He did. Oh yeah, he did. But he didn't. It wasn't like he just dominated him from start.
No,
to
but
finish.
I don't think you're going to get fights like that against Porter just because of his style. He's going to nick rounds off people, and he's going to make it hard work because the way he fights.
Yeah, no, but that's what I mean. But like, Thurman's had these spells where he's had these like tough moments, like just to negotiate, where fucking Garcia's just been fighting absolute idiots, or fucking Robert Garcia. I mean,
I was But carry on.
I mean, since fucking Thurman beat Guerrero, Guerrero's been fucking shit, hasn't he? He's been pointless. So, like, there's nothing I've seen in fucking Guerrero's. In fucking hell, I'm getting Guerrero's and Garcia's mixed up here. In Garcia's, like, fights since he fought Matisse, and this is like fucking 3.5 years ago now. He's just been treading water, and that's for too long. And with he's too fucking. Well, they probably are. This is how bad it is. His two biggest fights since Matisse probably were Herrera and fucking Peterson. And there's a fucking very easy case to make he's lost both of them. Obviously, Solka was an absolute joke.
He didn't lose against Peterson. That's bollocks.
You can't score. You're a casual.
He blurred the line between winning and losing. Then.
Well, yeah, it wasn't like. I mean, come on. Do you think that? I think if you're decent and you're fucking worth your crust, you're not going to struggle with Peterson. Like, he's a decent fighter, but you should be beating him. But anyway, that's just my thoughts. I think Thurman will win. He'll probably win like 8-4. But as you said in the WhatsApp earlier, it might end up Thurman wins 8 rounds and still gets like 2 rounds on the scorecard. Or fucking,
yeah, I can see it being like a contentious scorecard where the only fucking person that has it scored to Garcia is Macho Grande.
Yeah,
I mean, go on.
Just to get out, someone tweeted me this the other day, which I thought was quite funny. Said what they think might happen is if Danny starts getting fucking licked up against the ropes and looks like he's going to get stopped, Angel will just run in and do something stupid so he gets disqualified to like sort of fucking try and bail him out.
You said the other day that you think this Crown's the new number 1 at welterweight, did you not?
Yeah.
Do you stand by that?
100%.
We can get to that later because I disagree vehemently, if that's a word.
You would.
Right. Who else? Dave, do you want to talk?
Yeah.
Go.
It's a difficult one with Danny Garcia. He's got some really waste in between some really bang average opposition, and we understand that every fighter isn't going to fight a super duper opponent every fight just because that's the way boxing is. But some of the guys he's fought, like Rod Salka, is literally like a super featherweight contender, and he's fighting him, above light welterweight. So yeah, it's a weird one with Garcia. I just don't think you can improve in that. Against that sort of competition. Keith Thurman he has shown vulnerabilities, but I think every time he's been, when he got hurt to the body against Collazo, when he got rocked in the first round against Soto Crass, he's always impressed me with his attitude and his spirit, and he's always come firing back. I think Thurman is, I wouldn't say raw, but I don't think he's a natural boxer, but I do think he should keep this at range. We see him a lot of times, he's got stuck into opponents and he's come out on top. But I think that'd be the wrong tactic in this fight. I think that'd really play into Garcia's hands. He's just got to let Garcia really has to plant his feet to fight. And I think Thurman has just got to time him and then, bang, bang, bang and move. If he stands with Garcia, it makes Garcia's job a lot easier. I think Garcia can be guilty of being a bit too passive in attack, and I think Thurman's just going to be a bit too quick-footed and take it on points. But I was just about to make the point that you never know with the judges. But aside from Herrera and the Peterson fight, the PBC shows are usually all right, I think, with the judges. So hopefully they are again.
Yeah, that's a good point. You haven't seen much fuckery on the scorecards there.
No, I always think whenever the Brits go over there, I think they all. I can't think of single Brit on a PBC show that's got ripped off.
Yeah, we get the rub of the green over there. Like De Gale got that draw and he had the win. Any other Brit fighters? No, none come to my head. Dave, anything come to your head? We've had good decisions over there.
What, American shows?
Yeah, Jamie McDonald the first time.
Yeah, I thought when, example close to home, when Clev lost to Fanfara, he was ahead at the halfway stage and lost 8 rounds to 4, which was the scorecard I had, and 7 rounds to 5 on the other card. So I think I think, you know, judges-wise, I don't think there'll be any issue. Fingers crossed, anyway.
If
But
Garcia, though,
Garcia's
innit?
had him before.
Well, you know,
though.
going forward though, like when Garcia's got a bit lucky with you know, with decisions, he's been the A side. Where Thurman, in my opinion, Thurman's probably got a higher ceiling than Garcia.
Yeah, yes. Do you think, and this is a complete intangible, but do you think the stuff that Garcia Senior was saying at the press conference, you know what I'm on about, when he just decided to fucking turn into some neo-Nazi idiot, do you think that might actually play against him?
Of course, you know, I can remember speaking. I can't remember who it was speaking to some American about Calzaghe Hopkins, and Hopkins obviously made those race comments before the fight, and they said that turned a lot of Americans against him, and that's why nobody really cared that he didn't get a decision. He had, you know, you could, if he got a decision, you couldn't have argued, but nobody argued his case after the fight. You know, obviously apart from Bernard, which he does very well, and I think if Danny Garcia loses, there's going to be no sympathy. Nobody banging for a rematch, even if he deserves it. I think people are going to be, you know, maybe not against him, but against his dad. I don't think people are going to have a shred of sympathy for him.
I think Garcia would be like a one-loss and fuck off kind of guy.
Well, he's made all this money. I saw an interview with that Mark Kriegel from Showtime, who was a bit cringy, but I do enjoy it. And they said if his dad couldn't train him now, he'd retire because he's made his money and he doesn't fight to live anymore. You know, he does it because, you know, because he can and not because he has to. So if he lost, I think that'd kind of be his bubble broke. And I imagine he's probably with the PBC money, he's probably made just shy of 10 million.
That's not bad going that. Who else wants to jump in? Brian, have you got anything? Have you got like any weird monologues you want to talk about?
I think he said Ricky Burns will beat them both.
Sorry, crack on, mate.
Garcia points.
Ooh.
Do you see it being a competitive fight, or do you see Garcia running away with it?
No, I think it'll be competitive, and I think it'll be one of them we'll all be arguing about next week.
Oh, that'd be fun on Sunday morning, then, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Mute the group chat for 8 hours.
Oh, you mute it all the time, mate. I can't be asked for that shit 24/7. Macho.
Well, I think you know what I'm going to say. I'm a bit of a Danny Garcia fanboy.
I don't like you, mate. I really don't.
So I like him. I quite like his old man. I think he's funny. I think Garcia is underrated. One of the big things I like about him, I like all fighters who do this. He just plants his feet and he trades. Too many boxers, you know, to take a combo, back off. You know, you throw, I throw, you throw, I throw. He just goes, no, fuck that. Head down, plant my feet, and I'm going to swing back. He's a decent counter puncher, not a classic counter puncher, but he can counter punch. I think with Thurman, he's got a bit of Tim Bradley's about him at the minute, where I think he's caught between styles. You know, he used to be that sort of front foot aggressive fighter, fighting, you know, lots of punches in the pocket. And then now he's sort of started to box a little bit, maybe on the back foot. And I think he's caught in between styles. And I think he's packing some glass. And I actually fancy Garcia to stop him. I think both their powers are overrated, to be fair. But if one's packing more glass than the other, it's definitely Thurman. So yeah, I think Garcia's going to stop him late. My only concern about Garcia is his gas tank.
Are you forgetting that fucking Mauricio Herrera, who can't punch the cream off a fucking coffee, had Garcia in absolute hell?
Yeah, but how many times has he been in absolute hell since then? I've just completely erased that. I've completely erased that from my memory.
Fucking hell. He's fought an absolute fucking sack of shit since then.
Oh, he fought Matisse, didn't he?
He's literally fought absolutely shit.
I thought he was holding on a bit in the last couple of rounds. I'm sure Judah buzzed him once or twice.
Yeah, he is. Down the stretch, he's not great. Judah definitely, I think the first 5-6 rounds, Garcia was like running away with that fight, and then he definitely gassed late on. That's my one thing about Garcia is I'm not sure how good he is down the stretch. But it's more about how I don't particularly rate Thurman. And now I think he's definitely caught between styles. I always used to think a good counter puncher would have beaten him quite easily, like 2 or 3 years ago. Just the way he stands square on, the way he drops his hands, the way he just throws those weird windmilling combinations up close. But I think the fight's definitely closer now, just because Garcia's been fighting absolute dross for the last few years. But I'm just pure bias. I'm pure fanboy. Garcia's going to stop him.
I'm with you on that. I don't rate Thurman too highly. Did he fight Bundu on the same card that Khan fought Alexander on? Is that right?
Yeah.
That's what he fought.
Yeah, I think in that Bundu fight, it just bored me to tears, and I thought, you're not as good as everyone says you are, and I sort of went off him a bit. I got off the train. So I'm not that up his arse. I don't think he's that great, but I think he's good enough to beat Garcia at 147.
What would you say his style is, though, Thurman's?
Well, he used to be a bit banger, didn't he? And now he doesn't. I'm not sure what he is anymore. And like you say, I don't really think he's sure either. Yeah. Was it Chavez he got buzzed quite bad against? Anyone know? Maybe not then. But I think he got hurt against Chavez, and I think he's backed off from just being a power puncher since then. He did get hurt against Chavez, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
Thought
I remember that.
It's Chavez. Soto Carras fucking buzzed him to fuck. He got hurt by Diaz, but yeah.
Yeah, so now I think he's just.
But
he wants to take it steady and box, but.
In his defence, he gets hurt, but then he manages to fucking get his head back in the same round. He's not like. So, like, when. I'm not really going to mention. There's a few fighters that we can mention, like, who get fucking chin in the seams to have it on them for about a week, but if he gets hurt, he seems to get over it pretty quickly.
Brian, do you want to talk about Erickson Lubin before we fuck off? Get by the window, no cunt can hear you again.
I was fucking sitting watching the football while you were all talking.
Well, do you want to talk about Thurman Garcia? I'm sure you've got an interesting opinion.
My opinion is that Garcia's face gets fucking marked up every time he fights, and he could basically be fighting a foreskin and he'd still get bruised. I can see, and I'm not saying it's going to turn out this fight, and everybody knows I'm a Cotto fan, so I refuse to acknowledge any Cotto slagging. But I can see this to be like maybe a margarita thing where the referee just kind of waves it off because his face is a fucking mess. I know people turn around and say Garcia's chin is fucking solid, but I don't see any evidence of that because he's been fighting no cunt for ages. And he was getting pushed back with Peterson. Peterson was outboxing him. So, see if you watch that fight, for the first 6 rounds he was outboxing him, right? Then the second half of that fight he fucking pushed him back. I had it like 7-5, right? It was a close fight. It was a fucking clear Peterson victory. I'm not listening to any cunt that'll say that Garcia won that fight, right? So he's been outboxed, he's been outmuscled, he's moving up in weight, he's fighting a proper like welterweight, a big puncher, so to speak. He's got power. I'm yet to be convinced that Danny Garcia's like fucking chin because his resume doesn't tell me that. Hamada, mute yourself. His chin. I'm suspect on his chin because he's not been in with him to really test it for a while. Like, see if you really think about it. If you go through his resume, who's the last puncher he was in with? Lucas. That is the one fight that you can give him really credit for. But going all the way back, who are the severe punchers? We're talking about like Zab Judah and stuff like that. So he can take a punch, but whether his chin is able to hold up at welterweight, I don't know. He's not as good a boxer as Thurman, I don't think. For some weird reason, he's got decent timing where he has his eyes closed and still able to fucking knock people out or like connect with them. But again, they highlight real stoppages are coming with either Khan, Salka, and that's it. When people turn around and say like Garcia's a big puncher, he's not. You look at his KO ratio, it's not that big. It's not that big.
No.
And like the last person he stopped was like Paulie, right? But we all know that Paulie's a skinny bastard. See when you look at Paulie, like, it doesn't matter what weight division, if he's 147 or 140 and all that, he still looks like a skinny cunt. He's not got a bit of muscle on him. Don't know what that is. Like, fucking weird though. But
Brian, sorry, would you not? You've always said that Ricky Burns fights down to his level, and he raises his game when he needs to raise his game. Danny Garcia's always got the job done when he's needed to, and when he's full gash, he's kind of gone down. Is it not the same? Could you not say the same for him?
I don't believe he's got the job done. You can't turn around and say that he was fighting down to Peterson's level and lost. I think he's got 2 losses on his record.
Lies, fake news.
How? Who do you think? Do you think that he beat both of them?
I don't think he beat Herrera, but I think he beat Peterson. Yeah.
No.
I think he did enough.
I'm not going to
argue either way. It was a close one, but for you saying it wasn't the fucking worst robbery of the fucking decade, was it?
No,
Hang on, Brian,
but
you think you're? Am I right in saying that Bradley Pacquiao won? You're with me in thinking that Bradley won that fight.
No, I don't think he won it. I had a draw, but I don't
Right,
think
okay.
it was I don't think it was a fucking schooling that people make out. Because if you sit and watch if you watch that film, that Pacquiao was missing a whole lot of punches, and you need. Obviously, I'm going to take into account that somebody's making a guy miss. So I was basically scoring rounds for Bradley that people were scoring for Pacquiao just because he was throwing loads of punches. But that's just
That's the old thing in the first 6 rounds of the Peterson Garcia fight. Garcia couldn't hit him, or could hit him few and far between.
I just feel as if when a push comes to shove, Garcia gets the benefit too often, and I just rate Thurman more than a lot of people. I think he's a decent boxer. He came out. You know how people turn around and say he's not that good a boxer and all that. And I know Porter's just a fucking bullrush, but I think I liked that fight. I thought both fighters looked a lot better than they normally do, even though Thurman won that convincingly. I thought he won it better than Brook done, and I just think that Garcia is a far more static guy.
That's my point from that Porter fight. That Porter fight for Thurman's going to stand him in a lot of good stead. Having a tougher fight like that to come into it, instead of just fighting fucking Sammy Vasquez or fucking Robert Guerrero's well shot.
I mean, I'll tell you this. I know that people were going on about I seen people screaming that Guerrero got robbed against Garcia. You know, do you know what my scorecard was for the Danny Garcia Guerrero fight?
12-0.
11-1 to Danny Garcia. I do not think that fight was close at all. You know what it was to me? It was like a can fucking Algieri fight where maybe the rounds were competitive, but there was one guy that was winning fucking every single round. One guy, and people were going ape shit saying he got another gift, and I was like, that fight wasn't close. Guerrero is absolutely fucking shite, but I'm picking Thurman. I think Thurman will get a late stoppage, and I'm not saying that he'll knock Danny Garcia out because I don't know what his chin is really like. I'm under dispute with that, but I think the referee will stop it. So I've picked a TKO. I showed you it earlier on. That's what I'm going with. I don't really give a fuck. I don't really pick winners anymore because I can't. Because ever since Brook got that decision against Porter, I can't deal with the abuse. So I try not to pick winners anymore. But Thurman's going to one-time him.
Right, do you subscribe to the same thinking that Ainsley, that whoever wins this is number 1 at welterweight?
No,
Manny's fucking around.
If Pacquiao, the thing is, Pacquiao's number 1 until he really loses. But see if he keeps fighting. But remember, he's fought. He fought Bradley and Vargas last year. That's a decent run for a champion. So if he fought Jeff Horn, then he fought somebody like fucking Ricky Burns or some shit like that, so Felix Diaz or something like that. Somebody coming up to 140. I'd be like, no, he's no number 1 anymore because he's no fucking competing at it. But right now, Manny Pacquiao for me is still head and shoulders above everybody. I know everybody's got hard on for Spence, but I'm not going to say that Spence beats Pacquiao. I think
Spence can't be in any sort of conversation for that.
Calm down. White Knight. We don't need your White Knight and Brook. I just mentioned them. Calm down.
No, but I'm just saying, why? Who the fuck's even mentioned Spencer's better than Manny?
Oi, Teddy Atlas has got a number 10 pound for pound, mate.
Yeah, but Teddy Atlas had fucking Lomachenko at number 7 after he beat that fucking Rodriguez on his debut.
I bet you bought one of Brook's fucking cum rags on eBay, you fucking pervert.
Right, do you want to finish up or do you want to talk about Can Manny before we fuck off?
Hamad is on the call.
Oh, is he?
Aye.
I think unmute yourself.
Yo,
How's it going?
what's happening, boys?
A big respect, man.
What's up, lad?
Nothing much, man. What's going on?
Is this Arsenal Fan TV?
Yeah, we got Claude and Denny Ty now, haven't we?
Oh no, we got troops here, fans.
Nah. That's not how I speak, man. I don't talk like that, man.
What do you want to talk about?
With me,
Yeah,
boxing.
talk about it then.
You guys are talking about Garcia Furman.
Yeah?
Yeah. Who's picking Garcia and who's picking Furman?
The only one picking... Oh, sorry, you're picking Garcia and... Someone's fucking echoing here, isn't they? Still echoing?
What is it me?
Yeah, I think so.
Wait, let me mute myself. One sec.
I'll mute myself.
Right, the only ones picking Garcia is Sai and Macho. Other than that, it's Team Thurman.
Yeah, man. I'm not Team Furman, but I think it's an easy fight for him. Like Garcia's just awful. Like I don't see how anyone can pick him to win. Like I think the Porter fight is a tougher fight for Furman. He'll probably beat Garcia easy. He'll be on his bike moving and just getting off the power shots on the move. And you know Garcia, the way he fights, it's like he's fighting in the mud. Like he can't. His footwork's terrible. It's crazy how a professional can be at that high level and have that bad of footwork, especially when it comes to cutting off the ring. So I just can't see anything other than I don't think Furman will knock him out. I think fights like this normally end on points, isn't it? Like majority of the time, very rarely people get knocked out at this level. So I just think Furman will win a points decision if they don't rob him like they robbed Peterson and Herrera.
I go along with it. I can't see Thurman stopping him, really. I think it'll be a point, not wide, 8-4, 7-5 sort of thing. Do you want to talk about Can Manny, any of you, or not really?
Only because it's fucking funny for Hearn. Hearn is absolutely livid. He's fuming, raging, and I love it.
You know what? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not saying I agree with Hearn, but it does seem a bit. It seems like they're jumping the gun with this. I don't know if it's official yet. Is it?
No, they've agreed to split a non-existent pot of money, basically. It's fucking
So
idiots.
where's the fight
That's taking
happening?
place in 7 weeks' time in the United Arab Emirates.
Come on, I mean we've heard all that bullshit about them countries trying to do boxing events and it's never materialized. So
If Nassim if Hamid couldn't get out of there, then I don't see how this is going to happen. And I think Khan would have been out there before now if he was ever going to go. So I'll be surprised if it happens. But there you go.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think it's a load of bullshit, and I don't know. For once in my life, I actually sided with Eddie Hearn. For once.
Yeah, but apparently fucking Manny's been offered 70 million to fight Marquez in China in like September as well.
Is Marcus still alive?
Yeah, he's been hanging around Bramall Lane for about 2 years.
That was Berestein said that on the weekend, didn't he? Andy Clark said it on the TV. Is that right?
What did he? Oh yeah, but I've since seen it mentioned on Twitter.
Oh, I want to say, I was supposed to say this earlier on. I forgot that Andy Clark. I liked him when he first got on Sky, but he's been infected now.
Yeah, massively.
They've got
absolutely.
to.
Yeah, they definitely have.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was it? There was the last show they did. I can't remember which one, and he was absolutely full of bollocks. And I was like, "Fucking yeah."
He did the Scotland one with Ricky Burns when he robbed Relic.
Was it that one? There was one. He was just terrible, and they have got to him really quickly.
Because he had so much promise, man. That first show, he was talking about like boxing that was happening on Box Nation and stuff, and they must have said like, "Cut that shit out straight away." And then since then, it's just Sky routine, and it like.
I had a theory on something on it. I forgot to say it in the chat the other day. You know, and I said I had a stupid theory about the commentary.
Go on.
So, like, do you think that they know that fucking half the cunts who are watching don't know what they're on about, yeah? So if they just fucking spin this narrative every single fight that the Brit's doing well and he's just come close, it's just sort of fucking playing into their hands that, oh yeah, look at how elite all these fighters are that fucking Hearns got.
You know what? It wouldn't surprise me if it's just like wrestling when they have the commentators there and they have like Vinnie Max in the back and he's telling the commentators what to say. He's dropping lines in and they're telling the story. They're following a narrative. They're trying to get whoever they want to get over. It's just exactly like wrestling. It works exactly the same way. They're just, this is our guy, and we're getting him over no matter what. We're going to tell you what we want to tell you. We're going to not tell you what we don't want to tell you, and that's it. Exactly the same as wrestling. Exactly the same.
Yeah, that wouldn't shock me, to be fair.
Because I think it always suits that sort of angle. Like, it's just fucking. They're saying it knowing that half the cunts are watching don't know what they're on about, and the ones who do know what they're on about, they've no interest in fucking appealing to anyway. Like, half the shit that Sky do now is not catered towards actual boxing fans, is it? It's all that. It is just the casuals.
Well, Gavin McDonald's a good example of that. I mean, the narrative was that he's proved he's at that level. You know, he's gone in with this guy and he's pushed him all the way. He just left it a little bit late. And now every casual will just go, yeah, he's at that level, when he's clearly not. But that's the story that they're pushing.
Fair play to McDonald though for fucking saying that Ian John Lewis is an idiot.
Did he say that?
Right, there's loads of silence all the time here. We're going to kill this.
Yeah, let's finish it up.
Right, bye.
Peace.
Danny Garcia, #1.